everybody at home. I see we got hey Kristen, we got 3 states represented at least out there. So welcome you guys. So for you all, if there's any newbies, maybe not everybody knows where the bathroom is already. I don't need to tell you about that. Happy birthday to Miss Becky. A built-in birthday party. This is so fantastic of her.
Say somebody. I couldn't hear who she said.
Oh, that's it's mute now. To have a birthday on the exact same Tuesday. So perfect.
No, I'm not aging at all. No.
She's just getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Every year.
If we can all look like that at 65, we're gonna be doing just fine.
Botox.
Let's keep hanging out with Becky. I'm gonna just keep close to her.
Not joking.
Botox doesn't give you the guns this one's got.
Yeah, she works her butt off for those guns. If you've seen those, if you saw those guns at the auction, she's been working her butt off for those guns. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. The cake back there is Becky's most favorite cake that Bill brought for us all tonight because it's her favorite childhood cake spot. And I'm telling you, it is actually really good cake. I was trying to describe it. So you know when you're eating cake and that first bite is like really good? And then you take the second bite, you don't realize it for a while though. But when you really think about it, you're like, actually after the second bite, it wasn't quite as good and it keeps diminishing. And by the end, you're like, why did I even do that? Because really it was just that first bite. But you ate it anyways. No, this actually, every bite was good. I ate every last bite. It's like, it was like smooth. It's like a smooth mousse.
Yeah, like you've never had anything like it.
But it's not mousse because it's not
super
chocolate.
good.
So it's really super good.
What kind is it?
Mousse doesn't have to be chocolate.
It's called a pink champagne cake.
Oh, I don't know what makes it special.
It's the texture.
I don't know why it's so good, but it just, I was just amazed.
Yeah,
So.
if you want to try it, it's a little bakery that's a hole in the wall in Bremerton, right by the shipyard. And they've been there for 60, 70 years.
They know what they're doing it right.
And it's a secret. It's their secret.
Yeah,
It's their secret, so y'all have to take it's playing back there.
yeah, it's called McGavin.
If anybody wants to run and grab a bite now, you're welcome to. Art just went to use the restroom and we're just gonna ramble a little bit, so you're welcome to just go sneak a little bite there if you want to now. You don't have to wait. Yes, perfect. And just a couple things. So I want to make sure everybody knows the schedule. So this is actually going to be our last solution group of the year. I previously had said the 7th, the 3rd Tuesday, but that was kind of silly because we just realized there's so many festivities going on this month that we just want to focus on those fun festivities and kind of take a little downtime as far as the solution group goes. So this is our last solution group of the 2025. We have group coaching tomorrow night, so we do still have room. So I highly encourage you guys, if you haven't signed up and you want to participate, shoot me a message. You can come tomorrow night. That's at our house tomorrow night. It's going to be our final group coaching of the year. And if you haven't participated into a group coaching, it's one of my favorite things we do. It's pretty cool. So you got to experience it to really get it. So join us tomorrow night. But then the festivities to come. So, tomorrow we do have MOD. So we do have our regular MOD following solution group. What we do on the Wednesdays following solution groups, we do just a 1-hour coffee date on Zoom from where you're at. So that's tomorrow morning on Zoom. But then every quarter we do an in-person MOD, the Moms at Battlefield. And it happens to be in December. This could be our Christmas version. And so it's going to be super fun. So it is on Wednesday, December 17th at 6 p.m. So 6 to 9 p.m. because that was the votes. We're accommodating all of the moms that worked. It was neck and neck, the voting, and then it went for a little bit. And those who worked during the day won. So I hope you all can join us Wednesday, December 17th. Make sure you shoot me a text and let me know. I got you, Sherry. But make sure you let me know, and then I'll make sure you're on the list so I can get out all the details. Because I haven't figured it all out yet, but we have fun. So there's just some little surprises that we do or whatever, some little fun things that we'll do. And I'll let you know ahead of time kind of what you want to bring with you for the fun. So that is Wednesday the 17th. And then on Saturday the 20th is our team holiday party, like team volunteers. If you're a volunteer at the auction, we just want to appreciate you. We just do it big. So that is on Saturday, December 20th, and that's gonna be at 5 o'clock at our house. And so make sure you RSVP to be on that, so I can let you know the details too. And so that'll be a lot of fun. So hope you all can join us for all of those festivities. And the pictures for the auction, there's just been a little delay with the photographer. They are still coming. The rest, all the photo booth ones have been posted. They're beautiful. And then all the other ones are still coming in the next few days. And then Bill had a few things he wanted to share too. So go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, there's a lot of curiosity about how the auction did. So we have some,
The president of our board, by the way,
Yeah.
Mr. Bill Wiggins.
for another few weeks.
Well, okay.
I was
He's tried to break up with me before. You
No,
know,
it's
He's
just,
just changing titles.
yeah,
is
I'm
all.
changing title.
Ain't going nowhere.
But
You can't leave.
this was by far the most successful auction. I mean, if you can increase your revenue for our programs by almost 30%, that's pretty incredible.
Wow.
To do that. So, just as a reference, the auction last year, the gross was about 240,000, I think, 248, and this year it was $320,000. So after expenses, because it is expensive to run that, the venue and everything is very expensive. The net was just a eyelash under $250,000 you can raise for programs. So that goes to all you guys for participating and promoting that. Because, you know, my goal is someday to see that even higher, but that's a huge step towards that. And it all has to do with participation, but also, you know, who we're bringing to our auction. And that makes it the sponsorships and so forth. So the more we can promote that going forward, the better it's going to be for the auction. And that brings me to this, which is, I've never been a club guy, but I joined some clubs to help promote Battlefield. Becky did too, more clubs than I joined. And because we've been so good at the addict and the family component of Battlefield, but we've always missed that community part of it. You know, we talk amongst ourselves, but nobody really understands what we do. And Art said 9 years ago when we got involved that we've got the best ideas for this problem and nobody hears them. So we've been working really hard to get somebody with influence that wants to partner with us in sharing Battlefield. And this is the first person I've been able to meet with that comes to our auction and is really interested in promoting Battlefield. And he just got elected to office in Lakewood. So he and I have been talking about putting on a forum. We've got a venue rented for March 28th, and he's promoting this through his podcast, and he's putting in a lot of work for this. He's not just gonna interview Art like some people have done and then forget about it. He's really doing a good job promoting it. And there's gonna be a panel with Art, and Battlefield's gonna be featured in this, by the way. We're gonna get priority seating and so forth for this event. So he really wants Battlefield to show up. And the venue is about 200 people. And there's also going to be the chief of police, there's going to be prosecutors, some Chamber of Commerce people. I don't know if anybody knows Jenny Burton is going to be there, and she's phenomenal too. So we really got to show up and promote this thing, because he's trying hard to get our Battlefield program up front and center, and to show the community there's a different way. So he printed off all these really nice brochures, and there's about 100 of them. If you could hand them out to businesses, especially, I think that's where our biggest component that we're missing is having businesses participate in the solution. So if you could hand these out to businesses and have them show up so they can listen to our program and what we have to offer, it'd be great.
Do you have a link?
You want to pass the papers around though?
Yeah, I'll pass them all around. There's 100 of them here. It's also a website. You can go to Philip's website. he has a website for this program, and then he has a podcast called The Informed Citizen, and you can listen to some of the things he's done. He's interviewed Art, and he's interviewed Jenny Burton and some other people. So, yeah,
Maybe
it's worth a
Becky,
listen.
you could post it in the mob or something.
Yeah.
So those links.
So I'll just start passing
Post it
those
in the
around,
mob, yeah, private group.
and if you could all hand these out, and there'll be more information about it. But this is our first step, just to make you guys all aware of what's going on with it. But I think it'll be really a worthwhile
Does it say what the ticket price is?
first step. He has big goals for this beyond Lakewood, so it's not just Lakewood.
Awesome, thank
Yeah.
you. You know the ticket
I'm just trying to read the names.
price? Oh, okay.
See what?
The ticket price?
Oh, ticket
Oh.
price.
Like, what was it?
Angie
$10?
has me. I think it's like $20
Oh.
for a ticket.
So once we have that info, we'll
Yeah.
post it, and we'll post in the private group, mob,
Yeah.
the Battlefield group, on Facebook. We can send it out via text, and then we'll figure out how to get
Yeah,
it to you.
it's being, if you want to know where it is, it's at the Lakewood Playhouse, which is like a round seating kind of situation. There's a stage in the middle, so Art and the panel will be right in the center, and then the crowd will be around him. So, and it's going to be interactive. So,
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
So March 28th, mark your calendar. And then the other two dates to make sure that you have marked on, oh, sorry, more?
just that this would really be a good lead-in to our Run for Recovery too. If we can get people, we had what, 400 or 500 people at the run last year,
Yeah,
and this would be a really good advertisement for our Run for Recovery as
Yeah.
well. We get more people.
yeah,
there.
we'll show up big in our Battlefield gear.
Yeah.
So the other two dates for 2026 to have on your calendar, in addition to this, is the Run for Recovery date, which is May 9th, 2026. That's always Mother's Day weekend. That's our walk, Run for Recovery 5K. And if you participated last year, you know how great that is. It's just a lot of fun. It's for the whole community. Last year, did we have how many registrants?
500.
500.
Close to 500.
Yeah, close to 500 for that too, which was our biggest one ever. So everything is just going up, and we're gonna grow this year. I do believe. And then the auction next year is November 14th. So November 14th, 2026. You can go ahead and mark the calendar so you don't have your vacations booked. You can book around it. So you can know that now. Hi, come on in. Welcome. Hi. Anyways, so yeah, with that, I think that's it for announcements. Let's just do a double check of the phones. Phones are off. Just a reminder, please no vaping back there, guys. We appreciate it. And yeah, we're ready to, think we're ready to go. Let's let these people in.
Let 'em in.
Let 'em in. Lots of people at home tonight.
I realized tonight on the way here, like, I don't know why I never thought about it before, but my son, he'll get to watch these, and maybe if I'm not around or something, and something happens to me or something, my son he'll get to watch these and maybe learn something. And I started thinking I better like start thinking about that. What is he gonna? I see a lot of parents, and I always thought as a parent when I became a dad, I thought that you think like, oh man, you want your kid to play football, or you think of going to the football game and have your kid being a football star, or maybe I don't know what I ever imagined, but I imagined taking him to sports or stuff like that. But I don't think of those things when it pertains to my son right now. I never think of what I want him to be. I don't have any image of what I want him to be. I think more about how I want him to be, and after all the work that I've done and all the teaching I've done, or the actual work, I've learned, and I think that I know, and I might get it wrong, but I think I really know what I need to teach him. I think I really need to. What I want to say right now is I can't really talk to my son right now, and I'm waiting to talk to him. I'm waiting to be able to talk to him, but right now I get to all I get to do is communicate with his moods. So he just has moods. He has ways of being that he becomes, and he doesn't know that he's becoming them, but they become him. And he does that when he's hungry, he becomes something. And when he's a little grumpy and he gets tired, he becomes something. And when he wants to be moved, he communicates very clearly that he wants to be moved. He pulls himself that way, or he says, he arches his back and says, I don't want to be here. I want you to put me somewhere else. So I have to put him somewhere else. And mostly what he wants when he gets grumpy or he gets tired, he just wants to be somewhat, for some odd reason, he likes to be elevated about 6 feet above the ground or 4 feet above the ground and just toted around. So that's what he likes. He just likes to be toted around. And if you tote him around, he'll never be grumpy. He'll just, he could go all day. And he probably wouldn't even sleep till he would just, so he's just saying, tote me around and show me shit. And so you just do that. And then I get tired, so I just pay someone else to do it. And he has little chauffeurs that come over and tote him around. And that's, that's what we do. But someday, probably around 5 or 6, maybe 7, something's going to happen. There's going to be a light that comes on. There's going to be an awareness. And for the first time, I'm going to be able to talk to my son. You see, it's only when that awareness shows up that I will be talking to him. You see, when the light comes on, and I'll be seeing that it's not the mood, it's not the part of him that's taken over, or it's not his grumpiness or his tiredness, there'll be him. And by him, what I mean is there will be a light that comes on of awareness, and he will be aware that these things are happening inside him. He'll be aware of the outer world and the inner world, and I'm going to be able to speak to that awareness, and I'm going to be able to teach to that awareness. And what I'm going to teach that awareness is I'm going to teach him how to operate what I think is most important. And no one ever taught me, and I don't think anyone ever taught us, but I think the most important thing that I can teach my son is how to operate this human thing he has. How does he operate skillfully this thing? So when he grows up, I'm going to be looking for not if he's first across the finish line, but if he's the kindest. I'm going to look for if he has things inside of him that we can cultivate, like forgiveness. I'm going to look and see if he can notice that he's angry. See, 2 things have to happen for him to not be like angry. He's going to, one, have to notice that he's angry. And number 2, and there'll have to be an awareness that he's angry. So I'll talk to that awareness and say, are you angry? And then there'll have to be a notice that anger is not him, that it's foreign. That the anger is foreign and it's not him. It's something else that's taken him over. It's a foreign installment. And so I'm going to have to teach him that he's not what's happening inside of him. And it's very easy for humans to understand that they're not what's happening out in the world. That's very easy for people to see. But it's way harder for people to understand that they're not what's happening inside of their body. You see? So for my son, I'm going to have to teach him how to be in here. And people come to me and so what I'm going to be teaching him is that what's going to be developing over time is that things in the world are going to happen. Like he's going to go to school at 6 years old and he's going to have an experience inside of his body. But he's not going to realize that it was inside of his body because he's going to say, that kid I don't like. But what exactly happened when he doesn't like that kid? See, what exactly happens, and I don't know if all humans know this, but what happens is he has a bad feeling that he doesn't like inside. And he believes it was caused by that kid. So he now has a part of him that instantly develops that says to him, that's going to say to him, see, I'm going to ramble tonight, and stop me if you don't understand. Please. If you don't understand, and it's not because I'm rambling, it might not be true, or whatever you think, but I'm telling you, this is what I've learned as a human and how to operate this thing, and I need to get it into him, and it's very important for me to tell him that that's what I try to teach the other humans too, but what I'm going to tell my son is they're not really buying it. The people that I try to teach this to, they're not buying it, son. They don't buy that the external world isn't the cause of their pain. Because if you get old enough, you never buy that shit anymore. So the kids in my program, they don't buy it. Art, the external world is absolutely the cause of my pain. I don't like that person. They're annoying. I don't like that guy. They're frustrating. This is boring. That person sucks. On and on and on. But what's really happening? Do you know? Do you know? And I want my son to know what's happening to him. I want him to know that a part of him has developed because it didn't feel good in here. And yes, there was an experience that made it not feel good in here. But then a part of him developed like an employee. It developed to say to him, that's the cause. You see? So now what comes online for the first time, when my son has an experience that he doesn't like and he believes that it's caused by some kid out there, hatred will come online. But here's the form that it will come. It'll come in the form of a voice. A voice will tell my son, I don't like that guy. And my son now has an option if I teach him. If I don't teach him, that's a part of him that doesn't like that guy. And if I don't teach him that part of him is there to protect him from that feeling that he had. You see, a part of you right now is taking you over and you might not know it. I might not be talking to your awareness. See, I'm not talking to Winston's awareness right now. A part of him just told him, this is boring, look at your phone. And Winston doesn't even know because nobody taught him growing up. So he is ran by a part of him that told him to look at his phone. Where's the leader of him? Who's running the company? Don't mean to embarrass you, Winston. There's a lot of people that this is true. So now, what if my son can have this experience where a part of him says, I don't like that kid, and I can teach my son that he doesn't like the feeling that the kid provided. And if I can teach my son then to be with that feeling, and if I can teach my son to then ask the question of that part of him, hey, why don't you like that kid? To question himself. You know, people always talk to me about change and the growth that they're going through and the personal development and this and that, and I hear it all the time. Do you know change can't occur without a leader? And it can't occur without a question. You see? You cannot change yourself without questioning yourself. So if yesterday you didn't question your thinking, then yesterday you did not grow. That's 100%. You just do what your parts tell you to do. So as I've got this thing figured out, what's happened is I've realized, not figured out, excuse me. Because believe me, I don't know how to operate it fully yet. Believe me, there's times where I lose control of the operation. You know, I hear a lot of time, the biggest thing that I'm trying to do all the time is talk people out of hatred. You know that I spend most of my time trying to talk people out of hatred, trying to talk people out of anger, trying to talk people out of unhappiness. Isn't that crazy that you have to spend time trying to talk people out of these things? If you find somebody that's unhappy today, try to talk them out of it. You won't. If you see somebody that's filled with hatred today, try to talk them out of it. You won't. If you see somebody that's righteous today and a victim, try to talk them out of it. You won't. I wonder what... So as he gets older and as things happen to him, there's parts of him that'll develop to protect him. There'll be parts that come online and say, stay away from that person. Don't go over there. I hate that. I don't like that. She's mean. My mom's rough on me. My dad's hard on me. And these parts of him will develop. And if he doesn't know that those are parts of him, then he will become those parts. So to me, it works, a human works like this. They're a committee of parts. There are a bunch of voices inside of them, like a bunch of employees that a person has. And for the most part, son, Most people don't know this. Most people, most humans don't know that they're a collection of parts and voices, and they're all different, and each voice is designed to protect them. And each voice is a protective nature cutting them off from the world. And that when he starts to understand this, and when you try to tell human beings that a part of them, that they have these parts, they don't really understand what you're talking about. Rather, they say no. So what's that like? It's like if I walked to the door of a house and I saw a family in there. And the door was answered and the 2-year-old answered. The first question I would have is, can I speak to your leader? You see? And I'm going to tell my son, for the most part, people have no leader. I don't know who the leader is. I don't know who I'm talking to because I spend most of my time talking to parts. I've seen Travis and Liz, Travis left. You see, a part of him felt this was more important than this. But yet, he's having relationship troubles. You see? So what if my son can learn to lead himself? What if my son could learn that he has an angry part, and he has a righteous part, and he has a victim part, and he has, this victim story that we hear from people all the time. God, that's so beautiful. It's like you got this little buddy that when things go wrong, he just speaks up and says, it's not your fault. Life's happening to you, poor guy. And so many people listen to that. So many people, and then they say it. They just repeat it. Life's happening to me. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything. I didn't cause it. I don't cause my life. It just happens to me. And my life sucks. And that's a part of them. But then when there's success, that part of them doesn't show up. Another part of them shows up when there's success, and another part of them goes, did you see what I did? See what I caused? You see? See, if we were leading ourselves, we wouldn't be here. A part of us would hate or be upset, and then we'd talk to that part of us and we'd say, just like a little child, hey, why are you so upset? Calm down. Easy. I got this. I'm the leader. You see, there's this thing that's happened. At some point, you want an attachment. At some point, you want a relationship. And in order to do that, in order to fit in order to matter, in order to be a part of people's life, we started being inauthentic. So what if my son comes home and he says he won't tell me that he hates some kid? Because he doesn't want to be known as a hateful person. But he's got a part of him inside that hates that kid. And I say, you can't do hatred. Don't be hating people. That's not going to work. That doesn't satisfy that part of him that hates. You see? But what if I teach my son that there's a part of him that hates and it's not him, and he can talk to me about it? And number one, he could talk to me about that part of him that hates, and he could point out that part of him does hate, and then he can call forth another part of him that can forgive. He can call forth, he can see the part of him that won't let go. Can't you see the part of you that won't let go? Can't you be in a fight with somebody and just hear that part of you that just keeps going and won't let you sleep and won't let you up and just continues to talk about their behavior? Who's leading that part of you? How do we stop that? How do we say to that part of us, shut up, I get it. You see? It's really like that. It's really like we have no boss. Who's the boss in here? Who's the boss of your thoughts? Who's the boss in here? Who's responsible? Who's the responsible party? Who's the responsible person that when that person comes and says it's not your fault, who questions that part and says, what do you mean it's not our fault? What do you mean? Because if you ask that part, why isn't it our fault? Another part will step up and say, of course it's our fault. You see? I'm going to teach my son that there is a committee in here and that he's going to have to oversee the whole committee. And the way you oversee the committee is you question thoughts. You question that committee. When it tells you to do something or say something, you question it. I deal with these kids in the program all the time. I deal with this, and I'll be a little whatever right now. There's no leader. I'm talking to the parts. So if a part of you's sad, then they're sad. If a part of you's depressed, then you're depressed. Who's responsible for your energy? Happiness is not this thing where we go get stuff. It's being able, I'm not going to let my son think happiness is achievement. Happiness is being able to be in here with your parts, to be able to quiet them, to be able to sit here and go, I hear you. Yeah, the person's an asshole. I hear you. Easy. Easy. I hear you. It's going to turn out bad. Everything's going to suck. I'm a piece of shit. I hear you. Stop. Easy. Low self-confidence? That's just a part of you. That's a part of you that wants more for you. And everyone goes, well, I don't like it. My kid's got low self-esteem. And by the way, it's not one person. It's every family. My kid just suffers from low self-esteem. He listens to a part of him, and that part of him takes over him, and there's no leader. And he doesn't question that part of him. And so when the part of him says, you're no good, he doesn't go, why would you say that? Why would you tell me I'm no good? Stop, please. And then another part of him would have the opportunity to step up and say, yeah, what are you talking about, dude? You see? There's parts of us in here. There's parts of us that hate, parts of us that want to forgive, parts of us that are mad, parts of us that judge, parts of us that don't want to judge, parts of us that want to choke people out, parts of us that want to forgive, parts of us that want kindness. There's all kinds of different employees in here. Listen to them. Let them speak and then question them. What do we want to do here? Now, when I fail, it's not anything that happens out in the world. It's when I get taken over by a part and I let the childish lowest parts of me run me. There's failure. When I don't go with those lowest parts of me, the part of me that wants to be a victim, the part of me that wants to tell the world that I got it bad, the part of me that explains to me how bad I got it and how I should be, how I'm dominated and how I am the victim in my own story. Just listen. What story is being told in your head? Today, yesterday was the story. My son, what story are you telling yourself in your head? Are you happening to life or is life happening to you? Is my son going to come home from school and go, everything bad happened again? I'm going to say, what part of you told you that? Let's talk to that part of you. Let's talk to that part of you that says everything was wrong and it wasn't your fault. Let's speak to that part of you. I need you to speak to him, son. What do you mean it wasn't my fault? What do you mean everything happened to me? I need you to allow and call forth some higher parts. Parents come to me and to be honest, they lack wisdom. That's true. I lack wisdom in this scenario. Well, you lack wisdom because a part of you is scared. A part of you is running things like a bad employee that comes into the office and says, boss, I don't know what to do. Everything's all screwed up. We're going to lose the company. And you as the boss go, bah! That's what you do. Instead of going, wait, easy. Easy. Breathe. What are we going to do here? I don't have to tell parents what to do ever. Ever. I just have to bring forth the calmness and the wisdom, and then they always know what to do. So I have to chill that part of them out for them. The parents come and I got to say, hey, let's chill with that part. That part of you that's been telling you it's not going to be okay. That part of you that's telling you you're going to lose your kid. Let's ease that part up a little bit and let's just put them on the bench and let's bring in some wiser parts. And then it happens. And these kids, I can just come into the house and I know what part of them's got them. This is a classic line here. You know what the number one line is? We say, what's wrong? What do they say?
Nothing.
No, they don't say nothing. They say the same thing every time.
What?
I'm tired.
Oh.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Jesus, you are tired. You're tired of listening to these parts of you that just depress you and talk to you, and you just listen with open ears like they're you. I'm overwhelmed. I'm this. I'm that. You know, there's a part of me that says I'm overwhelmed too. You know what I say to that part of me? Like Barack Obama? Like Trump? Like Zelensky? Like, what do you mean you're overwhelmed? Art? Like, your phone didn't ring today. What do you mean you're overwhelmed? You mean like the guy running a company with 1 million employees? Overwhelmed like that? No, I'm overwhelmed like the guy that has to drive to Kent and back, dude. I'm overwhelmed because there's a kid and he says he won't make his bed. I'm overwhelmed because I chose to have a son and beg for the universe to give it to me and then get ungrateful when I get it. That's how overwhelmed I am. I'm overwhelmed when I get everything that I'll ask for. That's how my parts get overwhelmed. You see, I get everything I ask for, and then I'm mad that I got it because somehow it's incumbent upon my own life and poor me. These kids, if I would have told any one of them, hey, you're going to get a job, you're going to come into the program, you're going to be sober 6 months, you're going to get a job, you're going to make almost $100,000 a year, you're going to have a brand new car, your own room, you're going to be able to date girls or do what you want, all the kids would have went, I'm in! You should see them now. I'm tired. And we're trying to energy them. What do you mean you're tired? What do you mean? I didn't even sleep till I was 40. Now today I'm sick. Okay. Tired and sick. Okay. Okay, again? Yes. Okay. So what? Who's leading the company? You see, we're all a company here. We're all a skyscraper. And our lower level employees are at the bottom floor. And when a situation happens, you walk into the office and those reactive low level are all there. It's going to be, we're going to die. It's not going to work. Everything's going to, well, we're ruined, boss. We're ruined. Who's leading? Who's putting yourself at ease? Who's able to take you out of depression? Your therapist? Not going to work. You're going to have to lead this thing. I won't be taking him to therapy. Come on in, Jeff.
There she is.
You know, I think it's dramatically important for my son to know that just like everything that's happening in here, just like everything that's happening out in the world is the same foreign installment of anything that's happening in here. You see, I need to be able to teach him to articulate what it feels like in here exactly the way somebody could articulate the way it feels out in the world when it's snowing. See, it's very easy for a human being to go, you know, I can describe effortlessly what it feels like to have a snowflake fall on me. But it's very difficult for a human being to explain when a part of them takes over them and explain anger or hatred. Because we're all mixed up in it and you want it to go away, so you're pushing it away and you don't want to feel it. I want my son to be able to articulate anger, articulate hatred, articulate disappointment, articulate frustration. Describe it to me like it's not happening to you. Like describe it to me like you can tell me about your inner experience. Because if you don't tell me that If you don't know how to experience it, then you're going to keep pushing it away. I want him to say to me, Dad, it feels like my muscles are tightening. It feels like my heart rate is pounding out of my chest. Dad, this is the effect that this human has on my body. And then if I can say that to him, I can say, well, now let's talk about that. Now let's talk about what you do in here when that's happening so that you can stabilize yourself and lead yourself. So I'll be teaching my son to regulate his parts. Something that I think is very important, because when we get in relationships, what we're not doing is leading our parts. We're leading with a part. So when you fight with your wife, it's because a part of you is fighting with your wife. A part of you is being challenged. A part of you that's stepping up, like one of your employees is speaking for you when you're fighting with your wife. When I fight with my wife, it's one of the employees that's sticking up for the company. And he usually goes, Art doesn't do anything wrong. This company does nothing wrong. It's your behavior. And if I don't challenge that guy and go, wait, what do you mean? Then I'm not leading this situation, and this part is leading my relationship rather than me leading it. If we're not challenging these parts of ourselves that we're allowing to talk, that we're allowing to hang on to our childhood, that we're allowing to say our parents are bad, that we're allowing to do anything, that we're allowing to resent. I was speaking about one of my resentments last night. It's not real. I said, yeah, I resent this person. And I said, no, more so, I just like to punch down on the person and make myself feel superior to them. I don't actually resent them. What I'm doing is I'm claiming that I resent them, but I'm pointing out how bad their behavior is to elevate mine. And that part of me does that and makes me feel so good about myself. They're not the man you are, Art. And if I listen to that part, I get to just be in there. So it's like a boss sitting in my office, an employee comes in and goes, we're the best company that ever existed, Art. And I just go, you're my man. And I just listen. And these parts of us are doing it to people all the time. They're just elevating us. We just got a part of us that comes in and goes, oh my God, that guy didn't open the door for me. What a piece of shit. And then we just blast and say what that dumb shit said to us. We don't question him and go, why is he a piece of shit because he didn't open the door? Maybe he's not thinking about us. Maybe he's having a rough day. We don't question it. We just go, what a piece of shit, and move on. And then we wonder why we're unhappy in here. It's because all these pieces of shits are out there in the world. If I could go through one day, all you got is pieces of shits everywhere. By the end of the day, you've figured out that everyone sucks and you're awesome. Don't you kind of get that? By the end of the day, haven't you got it figured out that you're awesome and everyone sucks every day?
It's a shitty world.
Yeah. God, another day of perfect behavior by me. Fucking nailed it again. Now, if everybody else around me would just get it together, then I'd be happy. No, you're unhappy because of that part of you that just said you behave better than everyone. That's the unhappiness. You're causing it. See, if you had a part of you that said, God, everyone in the world is beautiful, you'd be happy. You'd be happy. But you don't have that part, do you? See, what's left? That's what I got to tell my son. You know what's left if we don't protect ourselves, son? What's left if we don't protect ourselves? Love, son. That's all that's left. And why don't you feel love, son? Because you're protecting yourself. And how do you protect yourself? Because the parts speak to you about everybody else's behavior all day. And you don't have a part of you that goes, very rarely does a part of us step up and go, look at the beauty of that other human. It's only in the beginning when we meet someone. In the beginning, in the honeymoon phase of a relationship, there it is. For a minute, we got this person that goes, whoa, they're beautiful. And we got a part of us that says that. And then we move on a little bit and we start developing it. Wait, she's doing that shit again. And then we can't figure out why the love's not there anymore. It's because they did something and a part of you felt it and didn't like it. And now that part of you is taken over. And so when you're in a relationship and fighting, it's not you and her. It's a part of you and a part of them. A part of you is speaking for your company, and a part of her is speaking for her company. And there's no leader. And a leader would say, we don't have to do that. We don't have to defend ourselves from each other. We don't have to protect ourselves. It's fine. She just told me I don't take out the garbage very much. It's okay, little guy. You don't gotta fight. But I gotta be there leading because I got a little guy that if, she says I don't put the toilet seat back down. She goes, she calls in from the bathroom. Because I have a part of me that goes, no, I do it every time. So she has to point out that, And then she points it out. And then a part of me goes, God damn, she's... What? And I gotta go, dude, you didn't leave the toilet seat, dude. It's like that. Do it right and you won't get yelled at, moron. But I have to lead that. And if I don't, I'll say some snarky remark. No. There is parts of me. There's a committee here. And it's always at war. And I did drugs because it silenced the committee. So I took drugs because I didn't like the war. I didn't like the feeling of, I didn't like cognitive dissonance. I didn't like sometimes not feeling like a good person. I didn't like low self-esteem. I didn't like feeling like maybe I wasn't enough. So I took drugs, and those parts of me that told me maybe you're not enough, or maybe you should be better, or those parts of me that got quiet when I did drugs. It's like if you had a house and you have all your family and they're loud and rambunctious, and then the drugs were like Dad saying, everybody shut up! And then the house went quiet. And so there I was. And then the drugs would wear off and the house would start getting loud again. Oh shit, you shouldn't have done that, or why'd you do that? Now you're really screwed. Everyone's going to be mad at you. And there you were. So you take more drugs to try to quiet the parts. And then you have a part of you that says, this is how we solve all this. We just take drugs. And if you're not leading yourself, you'll take drugs to try to do it because you'll believe in that part of you. You'll believe it works. And I see it. I don't understand it. And I'm baffled by it more than anybody when people don't believe in this. I believe full-heartedly that we're causing our life. I believe it to my core. I believe, in my opinion, and this is just me, in my opinion, there is a just world and we cause it. And for every one of our actions, there seems to be a reaction from the world. And I love that. I love the fact that I cause life. I love the fact that I can make life happen. But there's a lot of people that tell me different stories. And the story that they tell themselves is that they don't cause life. That life happens to them. Such a sad story that life happens to you. There's nowhere to go from there, and I'm sorry it happens to you. It doesn't happen to me. It's just plain and simple. It doesn't happen to me. And happiness is when I'm causing life, and unhappiness is when life is happening to me. So if you want to be really unhappy, tell yourself a story that life happens to you, and you'll get really unhappy. And if you want to get happy, fix something. Strategize about something. Bring wisdom to a situation. Solve something that you couldn't have solved before. Strategize in your mind about how to make a relationship better. Try to figure out how to love someone that you couldn't love before. Work at it. Really work at it. Try to calm the parts of you that get angry when you're with someone, and try to calm those parts and keep them at ease so that you can be with them soul to soul. So when their angriest parts are coming out of them, your calmest parts are coming out of you, and that's how you help someone. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, is when somebody's really, really mean, hurtful parts and angry parts are coming out. And sometimes I achieve it, but a lot of times I don't. But when I do, man, it really helps a person. Because those parts come out and try to push me away and try to tell me to get mad and angry. And when I don't, and I'm able to lead myself, a person feels my love, not my protection. So I'm going to tell my son to practice this stuff, because I only started about 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And I'm going to say, son, you got a lifetime to practice it. You might be one of the kindest, forgiving, compassionate people that I ever seen. And I don't care if you ever have money or buy a house or all that kind of shit. I don't care what football team you play on, and I don't care if your grades are 4.0 or 2.0 or whatever it is. But I care that you're kind, and I care that you forgive, and I care that you're not a victim, and I care that you don't have hatred in your heart. Because I lived with that stuff for 40 years, son, and I'm not going to let you live with it. I'm going to show you how you don't have to. I'm going to show you how you take responsibility for these parts that are trying to defend you and protect you. And you take responsibility and ownership of them, and you calm them down yourself so the world doesn't need to change for you. So you can walk into your company, this, and he can sit there, and I just want to hear those thoughts in my son's head that first time he's sitting there going, easy, easy. And I don't care if it's 9 years old, 10 years old, I'm going to say, now you're a man. There you go, my son. Regulated yourself. There you go, big guy. But we don't put much stock in that. We don't put much stock in self-regulation. We let everybody just mouth off and be victimized. Responsibility, it isn't paying the bills. It's being the leader of you. And it's being authentic about it. It's not stuffing it down there and being fake. It's not saying you're not angry when you are. It's seeing that angry part of you and then being able to deal with that part of you one-on-one. And then calling forth another part of you that's bigger than that part. Calling forth another part of you and saying, wait, is there another part of us that's not angry? It's dealing with depression like that. It's having a voice in our head that says, humdrum, everything sucks, this is bad, I am depressed. And then calling forth another part of us that's not depressed. And saying, is there any part of us that's not depressed? Well, let's go for a walk then with that guy. Let's find that creative part of us. Let's find a different part. I spend my time by myself being in here with these parts of me. And I'm in love with it. I love driving down the road and just seeing who shows up to talk to me. Sometimes it's angry guy. Sometimes it's creative guy. Sometimes it's money guy. Sometimes it's worry guy. We're going to run out of money. He just pops up out of nowhere. We're going to run out of money. You're going to be living in a 2-bedroom apartment with your son. Where's he going to sleep? Whoa! I'm driving the car. Whoa, where'd you fucking come from? Oh, chill, dude. Don't let Angie hear that. She'll start. You know? there's worry guy. And I'm like, hey, worry guy. Thanks for chiming in. Don't need you tonight, though. It's going to be okay. I'm running the show. Thanks for chiming in, though. After solution group tonight, I always have after solution group guy who shows up. I'm trying to sleep, and he's like, you were really hard on Melinda last night. What the fuck? So in the middle of the night, I'm texting Amanda. Sorry, I was a little hard on you last week. He always criticizes my talk. I'm like, all right, dude. You know? Who's that guy? You know? There's the guy that shows up to tell me that my wife doesn't give me enough attention. You know? I actually have a part of me in here that resents my son. He looks at him like, you little shit. Crying again. You know? Every time that's what he says. Start to get hanging out with my wife and then and a part of me is like, every goddamn time this little shit. You know? Does he know what I'm up to right now? And it's falling in love with these parts of us. It's okay. It's seeing why they're here. Those parts of my son that develop, they're only going to be there to protect him. Hatred is protective. Judgment is protective. Anger is protective. I got to teach him that. Low self-esteem is protective. It's trying to tell you to be better. It's okay. They're all okay. There's no bad parts of us. They just need a leader. They just need somebody to question them. They just need somebody to rein them in. That worry guy, it's very important. You wouldn't want to live without worry. You'd be careless. But you just question him and go, I've already done everything. What can I do now? Nothing, I guess. All right, go sit back down in your office. Stay out of mine. I got this. So I want him to learn how to just be a human, how to handle the ship, how to skillfully negotiate the external world and the internal world. That's what I want to teach him. More so, I want to teach him to negotiate the internal world. I want to teach him to skillfully be in here, to sit with people like this. Hey, can we talk? I want him to look at people. I want him to connect with people. I want him to love people. Right now, boy, everyone he sees smiles. Big smile, everyone he sees. He hasn't not smiled at one human yet. Don't worry, he'll change. He'll change. He'll experience some pain, and then a part of him will develop and say, that person's scary, and he won't leave that part yet because he'll be too young, so he'll cry instinctively. He doesn't know why. It's like a dog barking at a guy that walks in the house. The dog don't know why. But if you walk into a house and a dog barks at you, you should know why. We always see the dogs barking at somebody that come in. What's wrong with that? That dog never barks at no one. Look at that. A lot of time it's height. A lot of times it's a hat. Height and hat.
All men
And
have
black people. The dogs have been very racist lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my dogs are racist.
Yeah. They just haven't seen that shade.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know. You know, it's to get peace in here. And just like any good company or any good family, it needs a leader. And the leader's got to provide safety. And you're not going to get safety from the outside world. It's not safe. You're only going to be able to provide your own safety. And you provide that safety by speaking to the parts of you that feel unsafe. When you hear it, is it true? Are we safe? Or are we in danger? No, we're not in danger. Is it true that I hate that person, or am I just trying to make myself righteous? Try to hate somebody without being right and them being wrong. Try. Try to be annoyed without you being superior. Try to be annoyed without being superior to the person in some way. So maybe we're not annoyed, and maybe we're not angry, and maybe we don't hate. Maybe we just like to make ourselves feel better than people. You see? When my son says, I hate that kid, what he's saying actually to me is, Dad, I behave way better than that kid. And I'm going to say, good for you, son. But that doesn't get us anywhere. Now, how do you love that kid? How do you figure out how to connect with him? How do you figure out how to make him a better person? I'm going to say, a bad man is a good man's job. A bad man isn't an opportunity for you to point out how good you are. I took that opportunity for many years of my life. Letting people know that I was better than people by complaining about people. I did that. That was my favorite pastime. I could go into a company and tell you why everyone that works there was a piece of shit except for me. I could go into a restaurant and tell you that I can run it better than them. I could go to a treatment center high on drugs and tell you how I do it. Oh, geez, this place is. If I owned a treatment center, I'd do it like this. Well, you're high, Art. I know, but I could do it better than them. Well, you got to quit drugs first. Ooh, big problem. I could even tell people that were helping me that they should have done it differently. I could even tell my father how to be a better father. You know how you should be a better dad to me, Dad? You know how crazy that is?
It's creative.
Mom, you know how you should be a better mom? Well, I don't know, son. Do you have ovaries? I don't know. It's nuts. I can find myself better than anyone and doing things that I've never even done. That's crazy. I'm better than Jeff Bezos, and I've never even ran Amazon. You know, I got it all figured out. I'm better than all NFL football players because I would have caught that.
Then you woke up.
Yeah, I can't even run the full field, but I can tell you I would have caught that ball and I would have ran right instead of left. Look at this piece of shit. I'm at my couch on my 14th hour of football in a coma. Angie's bringing me another piece of cake. I'm stuffing piece of shit. You got tackled. It's like, yeah, you'd get demolished.
There's a can of it's just Cokes all over.
Yeah. I got a part of me that does that for me. It really elevates me. Really makes me feel good about myself by comparing myself to others that are struggling. I don't have a part of me that looks up at people that are doing better than me and ever feels bad, though. I never find myself, I don't have a part of me that compares myself to people doing better than me. It always says those people are lucky or they don't know about your life or something like that. But everybody that's doing worse than me, I got their problems all figured out. You know what you should do? We got to be in here. And we've got to extract the most level of wisdom that we can have with each other. And we got to quit protecting ourselves so we can love each other. And we're not loving each other, we're protecting ourselves all the time. We're protecting ourselves with stonewalling, we're protecting ourselves with righteousness, we're protecting ourselves with resentment. We're protecting ourselves with victimhood. Righteous. Nobody wants to say, hey, our relationship, I don't do well enough in it. You don't hear that. It's got to be true somewhere. Somebody's got to be not doing well enough. But you never hear that. Hey, our relationship, we're not getting along because my parts, I'm not leading them. And they take over and protect me from you. There's got to be a light on. I got to talk to a light, some awareness. It's so hard. It is hard. It is hard talking people out of unhappiness and talking people out of misery and talking people out of being a victim in their story. It's hard. It's remarkably hard. You would think it would be easy. You would think it would be good news. If you could just get someone to go, you know what? If I look back, I can make a difference in my life. I caused shit. You'd think that would be such good news. But we've got this part of us that just protects us from that. Every time we fail, we got a part of us that just instantly comes on to blame. Took this kid in named Tony, and he's got a tattoo on his face, and I was just starting out in the business. And I had a sober living up in Kent, and everyone called him the Face because he had a face tattoo, so his name was the Face, Well, the Face was down on his luck, and he didn't have anywhere to live, so I took him in. And he's doing all right. He would do some work for me and smoke a lot of cigarettes and sit in the garage, and I'd buy him those cigarettes, and then he'd work and smoke cigarettes and work and smoke cigarettes. And, he was a hard worker, though. And one day the Face was in the garage, and I had to get the lawnmower out, and my car was blocking the lawnmower. So I got in my car, and I was going to back it out of the garage, but I did that thing where you leave the door open, and my foot was still on the outside of the car, and I'm just going to back it up, but the door caught the edge of the inside of the garage, and it bent the garage out, and then it bent my door back the other way, and instantly when it happened, I go, fucking Face! Blamed him. That seems crazy, but that's what it did. I blamed him for sitting there and smoking those cigarettes and distracting me. That's a remarkable protective system that a human has. And if you've ever stubbed your toe on your kid's Lego, and went, motherfucking little shit, blame is a quick thing. It's instinctive. Pain, blame. Pain, blame. Pain, blame. It happens instantly. It's not real, but some people, it's real to them. They keep that blame. They live with that blame. They think it's real. They don't know it's a protective mechanism that your parts are doing for you. It's offloading some of the pain with blame. But it's not real. You caused it. You definitely could have done better. I just want to teach him to not protect himself. In order to not protect himself, I got to teach him about this parts thing. These parts of him that are protecting him. So, what are we doing? Solutions. Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to connect with each other. And what we need to do is we need to run interference. We need to see that same old part of you that's connecting with the same old part of them ain't working no more. And we call forth new parts of us to meet new parts of them. And we don't need them to have new parts. We just need to meet them with our new parts. And these new parts are higher parts because they've been called forth by us. They're not reactive. They're parts of us that we call on for more patience and calmness and wisdom and love. Not parts that are protecting ourselves. It's that part of you that doesn't get along with an employee at work. It's that when you go home, you question that part of you that doesn't get along with them and say, why don't I get along with them? What am I doing here? Why am I resenting my coworker? Oh, I'm just trying to make myself look better than them. Oh, okay. It's not real. Because I really don't even want them to change. I love the fact that they fail. And I love pointing out their failure. I love it. It's so enticing. It makes me feel so good. And we're nasty, and we have those parts. Because they're there to protect us, and they're there to elevate the way we feel about ourselves. So to redirect that part and go, why do you hate that person? Why are you upset with them? We had 3 young kids come into the program. And it was so natural that everybody just took to superiority. Everybody just took right to it. Can't believe how they're behaving. You mean like you were a week ago? Oh, no, I just do that to the cops. People out of prison. Can't believe how these kids behave. Didn't you just get out of prison, dude? People high right now. I can't believe how these kids are behaving. But they all took to it. I can't go to Kent House no more, Art. Those kids are there. Try to be angry with people without being righteous. Try to be angry without being a victim. Good luck. Try to talk somebody out of being a victim. Good luck. So I just rabble. I just want to spill it out there. This is what we're doing here. We talk about what we're doing here. What does it do? Well, we're trying to teach somebody to lead themselves. You're going to be alone in a car. You're going to be in pain. Things aren't going to go your way. And a part of you is going to say, I know how to solve it. We could get some drugs. And if you're not leading that part of you, and if you don't say to that part of you, yeah, but what's that going to do? Then you won't call forth any other parts of you. And you'll just be left with that answer because you'll go to the lowest part. But if you talk to that lowest part of you that wants to hurt you to save you, you see, you could speak to that lower part that wants to damage you to save you and say, yeah, but you're going to damage us to save us. Another part will come forth, another wiser part. It'll say, yeah, that's a bad idea. We know how that ends. And that's what's going on in here. Development. Development of higher parts so I can behave better. The parts of me that say, be kind, be compassionate, be forgiving, don't hate. Those are what we're developing. Don't get revenge. Forgiveness is the highest part of us. You can't get higher than that. Forgiveness. Total forgiveness. Seeing it for what it is. The loss of all righteousness. Just that admittance there, but for the grace of God go I. I could do that to someone too. I'm no better. In fact, I've done it to people. And there it is. I'd rather teach my son that than how to throw a football, I promise. I want to see him being the most forgiving kid at his elementary school. That's what I want to see. I want to see no hatred in his heart, no protection. I want to see that smile when he's 6 years old, still open arms, ready to hug everyone. And I'm going to tell him, you don't got to protect yourself from no one. And I'll tell you if you have to. But in the meantime, open your arms and hug him. People always say, don't bring your kid over to the sober house. What are you talking about? Kids get the most love here that they get anywhere. Judgment is what stops that. It ain't no joke. Where's my kid going to be in the middle of the day if he's not with me? I'll drop him off here. Grow up, son. There's your brothers and uncles. They're learning what you need to learn, so go ahead.
As long as there's no vaping, right?
You do believe in self-defense, right?
My son?
Anybody, your son included.
Yeah. I believe in not pissing people off. That's the best self-defense you could do. I believe in, if there are dangerous areas, don't go there. My dad always said, he was right, only morons are in Seattle, Washington after midnight. He was right. You get all these morons going down to Seattle and ended up in jail, and well, that's what you do when you're a moron. You go to Seattle and end up in jail because there's almost no way not to. Some asshole's gonna hit on your wife or your girlfriend or grab your girlfriend's butt or something, and you gotta fight, and you go to jail. My son's up on Hilltop. I hope self-defense don't, what are you doing up there, moron? I don't know. Well, yeah.
Did that sign
Thank you. Huh?
Did the sign up sheet go around? Okay,
I challenge you to recollect every one of the stories that you tell yourself throughout the day, because I challenge and question myself too. And this is how I manage and hear and stay happy throughout things. And I told the kids the other night, I said, I'm not the best businessman or the best person in the treatment world or the most caring or loving or anything kind of guy. But I got one thing I can stand on, and that's that I can manage this human experience very well through whatever you throw at me. I can hold my mother's hand while she dies and I won't do drugs, and I can hold my father's hand while he died and I didn't do drugs, and I can see trauma and not do drugs, and I can lose and win and not do drugs, and I can manage this thing. And so one of the ways that I challenge people is, and a lot of times there's a part of me that wants to tell me a story about how I'm oppressed. And that's one of my employees that I really have to challenge. Because he's very elusive and he's very alluring. He likes to come in and tell me why I'm oppressed. He doesn't really have any evidence on anyone else's oppression. It's just mine. And he doesn't really understand what my wife does all day. And he doesn't recollect any of the way I oppress other people. He only recollects the way people treat me poorly. He doesn't seem to calculate the things that people do for me. And the times that I'm lucky. I play poker a lot. So this part of me that thinks I'm oppressed and a victim, he doesn't ever talk when I get lucky and say, we got lucky there. We oppressed someone. we were the problem for them. He only comes online to tell me when I got unlucky and it wasn't my fault. And he never remembers any of the success, any of the things that went my way. He doesn't remember the 100 times my wife joins me for when I want her time. He only remembers the one time my wife doesn't want to or can't. He's a real champion for me. And he believes that nothing is my fault. And that I always get the short end of the stick. And I have to do a lot of talking to that guy. Because he doesn't have all the information. He lacks a lot of information. He doesn't even know what my wife did all day. He didn't recollect today that I got myself a 2-hour massage. You know? I went to the spa and got a 2-hour massage, and he still gets in the car. Your wife ain't really doing enough. You need to. Geez, I hope she's working. Did she get that shit done that you needed her to get done? She's like, where were you? I've been working, holding the baby, trying to get the baby. And my beautiful wife doesn't say a word to me. She just says, was it good? But tomorrow he'll be back to his old tricks and tell me how I got it bad and it's unfair. Anyways, last one of the year. I hope next year we get really into this parts thing and, you know, really get people seeing it for what it is. There is some foreign installments in here as a committee running you, and you need to start listening to them. And it's okay. They're awesome, but all you got to do is question them a little bit. When you question them about why you hate or why you resent, they'll be out of answers. They don't like being questioned. Our parts like to dictate what's going on, and they don't like being questioned. Because when you do question them, they do not have answers. I promise you that. Anyways, thank you guys.
Thanks, Ed.
Wow.
Mom, tomorrow morning, see y'all. Christmas party on the 17th, Christmas party on the 20th. Good night, everybody.
Take some to the pub, take a cupcake.
Okay.